Hello friends, welcome back to, I'm guessing, the final part of my MSQ coverage for patch 7.2. It's now Tuesday, the 1st of April. It's the afternoon of the 1st of April. I've managed to avoid all of the stupid April Fool's shenanigans that have gone on. I don't like April Fool's Day at all. I don't think it's particularly fun or funny because I'm an old stick in the mud. I actually have been and done the dungeon a couple of times, and as is often the case when you do those dungeons, you think, I really want to see what the gear set's like. One of two things happens. You either manage to get somehow all of the pieces within a couple of runs, or you get nothing for either of the two jobs that you try it with. Can you guess which happened to me this time? So yes, anyway, we are going to return to the throne room, and I'm going to complete the MSQ. Sphene is still here. I can make this giant sword disappear. It's the little things that entertain me. Sphene. Oh, incidentally, apologies for the audio balancing over the last couple of episodes. As I was watching the dungeon footage back, the combat sound effects were way too loud, and I have no idea why. I'm sure they didn't used to be that loud, and I hadn't changed, as far as I can remember, my sound effects audio settings. But for future reference, I have now dropped them down significantly to, I think, like 35 or something. Yeah. Hopefully that will help, because they just drowned out the music, which was weird because they weren't so bad when I was playing. I could hear the music fine over the sound effects. Maybe they were coming through a different speaker. But either way, obviously, in the audio capture, it all just gets put on one track, and it was just overwhelming. So I've tried to rebalance it a bit, but I'm really, really sorry for those bits where I'm saying, yeah, I'm listening to the music. It's like, but we can barely hear the music, Derrigan, because you're fighting in the combats. So my apologies for that. I will try and do some test recordings. I don't think there's going to be any combat in this, because I think this is just the kind of wrap up of the plot for this patch. Anyway. Shared paths. Sphene stands in silence.
Selenia, it pains me to think that you're gone too.
Unless there's a bit of a left. Is that the gift that they were talking about?
Aha! Oh, we found you at last.
How did you get here without the door opening?
You had us quite worried when you suddenly disappeared. What in the world happened?
Then preservation's objective is indeed what Calyx claimed. But for them to know about the source and the shards, and to refer to theirs as the 9th, that raises some questions.
Wait. Is that the first confirmation that we've got that it was the 9th? Had I just completely overlooked that? I think maybe I had. I think maybe I had simply because I assumed that's what it was. Yeah, with all the Final Fantasy IX references, but the way Kryl is saying this implies that actually that wasn't a given. I've done this a few times in the story because of how I play these, obviously, and how the patches come out so far apart. And I don't wrap myself in the lore and storytelling as much as maybe I once did. I don't remember as much, maybe, which is more an observation about me as it compared to an observation about the storyline. I just don't have much of a brain anymore. But yeah, that does raise some questions if that is indeed confirmation of...
Indeed. But for now, I'm just glad the two of you
the
are
Alexandria is
safe.
coming from the 9th. It made sense, so I assume that's... I had just assumed. I'm fine.
Right. While we were scouring the castle for you, we
Yay!
came upon a room that looked like a library.
Libraries. One of my favourite things, a library.
By learning about the Alexandria of old, we may gain valuable insights into preservation. Might we take a number of books with us?
I love the fact that they're asking Sweyn
So
permission.
books still remain. Of course. You are welcome to any that may be of use.
Shale's walked off. She's gone for the crown on the throne, hasn't she?
If you don't
Oh, no.
mind, could we take a look around here first? I'm especially curious about the area over by the throne.
Right. Is that where the terminal is? And obviously the... Oh, yes! There is in fact... Wait. How long has that been there? Was that
Tiara.
there before?
It was hers. The Endless Fiends. What's it doing here?
Well...
It's a type of regulator, I believe.
Yes.
It contains the data of the Endless Fiend's memories. Calyx likely used it to create the simulant. Which means that as long as the tiara is in our keeping, we shouldn't need to deal with any more simulants.
Which is really odd. Because, realistically speaking, the simulant's fiend was an incredibly useful tool in terms of dealing with the populace. So the fact that Calyx has left it with us is a calculated thing to do. The question is, why? Because if he believes he doesn't need her anymore...
Strange that he would abandon it, though. Perhaps because the simulant already played her role, like she said.
Yes, I may have just said that.
Or Calyx made a copy of the memories. In any case, not much information of import appears to remain on this terminal. But I'll make it so we can access it remotely from the back room.
In the cutscenes, did that terminal show up? Or had it been hidden? I'm going to have to go back and look now. In fact, screw it. I've got my footage. Let's just quickly... which one will it be? Will it be this one? Oh, it is. It is there. I just not twigged it at all. I saw the throne and fixated on the throne, but that is very much there in the background. I hadn't noticed it at all. Sweyn. Don't put it on.
This contains the memories of another me. The tale of her journey as Queen of Alexandria.
The fascination of us, the idea of being able to learn the journey that the other Sphene went on would be quite interesting, but if she puts this on, is it going to...
Might I hold on to this tiara? You may examine it whenever you wish, of course.
It would be for the best, I think.
I don't know. That kind of makes me think of trap.
Does that work for you, Shale?
No objections from me. I'm finished. Let's head to the library and then back outside.
They're giving quite a lot of screen time and or importance to Shale. And I like her as a character, and therefore she's probably going to turn out to be a double agent or something.
Farewell, Selenia. Hummity hum. I'd forgot that was the start of a new quest. Do. Back in the back rooms. Graha. Alex seems to consider the reflections naught but fields to be harvested for his endless. I do not make a habit of dismissing the assertions of others out of hand, but I cannot abide such callous disregard for life. The interference made it impossible to locate you, prevent link pearl transmissions besides. Apologies that we couldn't be there for the critical moment, but as usual you found a way to handle matters. The same way we usually use, in fact. Based on the geographic data I gathered, it seems the inner section containing the castle served as a residential area during the early stages of Everkeep's construction. The outer section was then added when they expanded the structure into its present-day shape. I expect the system to dry the earth was installed so that they could build a stable foundation on submerged land. I'm glad everyone's safe. The Endless Fiend was just a projected image outside living memory, so it was a bit of a surprise to see an actual item that belonged to her. On the way back, I asked Shale why the tiara might have been in the throne room. She believes that it was being used to record Spheen's actions. There's no way to tell now whether or not it was with her knowledge. But it can't be used for questionable ends anymore, so we can at least take comfort in that. Really? Can we though? That's quite a logic leap there. Is there anything that says that it can no longer be used for malicious deeds? Might it not still have a connection? Don't get me wrong, I assume that Shale would have checked this, assuming here's the conspiracy, assuming Shale is very much on the level. Well, not the last time, but one of the last times they brought a character in who I liked, obviously, was Moonbreeder. We know what happened to Moonbreeder. She wasn't a traitor, but Shale has been an equally important... I suppose she's the person in the chair, isn't she? You know, she's the one with the tech expertise that supports the heroes. The simulant gave the impression that she wouldn't be back, but I suppose only time will tell. And at present, we have no further leads on Calyx. For now, perhaps you could take a moment to contact our friends. It would be good to catch each other up on recent developments, and I am certain everyone would appreciate hearing from you. Contact your allies from the desert. How is this a desert? Huh? Are we just going to link pearl them or? Oh, okay, we are. Oh, we get a choice. Ooh, who should we choose? Who should we choose? Ali. Yes? Hello? Temujin. Need to call out of the blue? Is something wrong? Nah. Just wanted to hear your voice. What? You went all the way to the bottom of Everkeep and you didn't think to ask me to come? But I suppose I have been fairly busy myself. Oh, she's been porkseeing. I'm pleased to say that we've received permission to begin administering the cure for Levin sickness to citizens. Permission from whom? I'm actually due to visit a boy named Milos shortly. Hey! I remember him. To see how he is responding to his treatment. You met him before with Lamity, I believe. The two of you should attend as well if you have time.
Nice. Let's get Alpha now out of the way. Alpha, no! Please, no! God, no! Ah, excellent timing, my friend. I had a mind to call you myself to see how you were faring. Calyx. Well, something was obviously afoot. I couldn't have imagined that such an individual would be involved. It is well you were able to prevent the simulant from sowing further uncertainty. That said, her absence may have consequences. The people of Alexandria still have great trust in Sphene. It is plain in the way they speak of her even now, and how the simulant was able to win them over. Yeah, if she just disappears... When they notice she has ceased to appear again, rumour and worry will spread. We must be mindful of any pronounced shift in the mood of the populace. And also, our Sphene needs to be super careful about moving around. But forgive me, it's been battle after battle for you, hasn't it? We can handle ourselves for now, so pray rest up while you can and recover your strength. I did get hit by a big bolt of lightning, but I was generally fine. Evanville. We'll save Mommy for last. Evanville? Demetron! That's not Evanville's voice. How does Evanville sound? Yeah, he's Icelandic, isn't he? This is a surprise. Has Wuklamat gotten into trouble again? I see. Knowing you, I expect you're already looking forward to the next obvious trap. Oh, we have been called out by Evanville, and he is so right. Try not to overdo it. Oh yeah, he had an outfit change, didn't he? I'm in the outskirts at the moment. I've been helping the people with their work and talking to those I meet to gauge their sentiments. It's been uneventful for the most part, but there was one notable development. Following recent events, some here stopped wearing regulators. This has led to a disparity in what people remember about the Queen's death, and the occasional episode of confusion. I'll be sure to let you know if there are any other changes. I was wondering about that, because that would be super duper weird, wouldn't it? How, a good chunk of the population don't remember it, and yet some of them do remember it because they're wearing regulators. It's like, I'm glad that they've mentioned it, because it's been kind of weighing at the back of my mind. It's like, wouldn't this have happened more often? Stola! Oh, matronly, motherly figure. If it isn't Demogen, is something the matter? So, preservation is behind the recent intrigue. It doesn't surprise me. I'm glad... There is a full stop there. It was a little bit small. I'm glad to hear you are none the worse for your trials, though. Yes, thanks, Stola. The lightning was... Oh, you've been helping Malachite? Oh no, that's Gossan. He was the... Was he the adjudicator person that was working for Sphene, the administrator? As for myself, I've just concluded a meeting with Gossan. I told him about the cure for Levin sickness, and we formed a tentative plan to treat all those who are stricken. I'm now otherwise unoccupied, so I shall take a look around the government sector to see if aught is amiss. And if this Calyx is obsessed with the key, then I ought to begin studying it in earnest as well. I thought she'd already done that, but clearly I am out of sync with the plots. Okay. Any more? I thought I heard Alistair yelling. I hope everything is alright. I see you were able to reach everyone. That is well. It irks me to think we're being led on by Calyx. I'll do my best to find clues of his passage. I'll take a look at the preservation terminal. Hopefully there'll be something useful. Being able to contact people so far away so easily can do wonders for your peace of mind. Link pearls really are convenient things. Yes. And they don't have screens, so you can't doom scroll on them. Doom pearls.
Ugh. What did the others have to say, if I may ask? I always imagine that Demagen speaks in like Simese. They finished treating Milos, and we have to go and visit him. Would you mind if I accompanied you? I understand he's afflicted with the self-same condition as I was, and I cannot help but worry for him. That's going to be an interesting one, considering his relationship with the Queen. Of course, we don't mind at all. Think it through. In the meantime, I shall take myself around Solution 9 and see how things are. I share Alphinaud's concern about the Queen's absence, and even setting that aside, the situation is not likely to resolve itself, while becoming endless remains an option. I'd been meaning to visit some shops, so I'll join Kryl. You want to go shopping, Graha? Okay. While everyone's out and about, I'll try to pick up Calix's trail. Let's see if I can dig up some information about the key for his show as well. Shale's a workaholic. I'll help too. No, I'll help you. It seems we all have things to do. Still, there's no telling what else Calix might have planned, so please be careful, everyone. Famous last words before Sween gets kidnapped. Right, let's go to Milos' apartment. Residential radius 914, if I remember correctly. Good memory, because I don't remember. Although, to be fair, there hasn't been 3 and a bit months in between the events in actual game chronology. Oh. Yes. I'm sure Shale is on the level. Right. Residential radius 914 is... over in the residential sector, obviously. I wonder how the appearance of our Sphene is going to affect... Are they upstairs? Oh no. They've just got really long apartments. I'd love an apartment like this. I mean, it's got a little bit too much space over here, to be fair, but I think I'd probably quite easily fill that with a massive table for gaming on, so... Ah, so Sphene does have a brain. No, that's unfair. I understand my endless self visited Milos often. I'll keep quiet so as not to draw suspicion. Look, Milos is sitting up. I've seen the treatment before, so I knew it would work, but it's still so amazing. Alizé and Isholo are miracle workers. Oh, it's so good to see you again, and a delight to know that you and Alizé are friends. She's been very kind to us. Yeah, she is wonderful. There you are. Next time something is in the offing, you better remember to call on me. Hello. You came before with Queen Sphene. I'm glad you came again. I believe he'll be fine now, but just for good measure, I'll administer a healing spell. Healing spell sound effects, courtesy of Demagen. Proxy!
I once hoped that Milos at least might be made an endless. Then he wouldn't need to suffer anymore.
You feel different now?
Thanks to Alizé, Milos is on the road to recovery. He can grow up and live a normal life.
Quote unquote normal.
And I want to be there with him every step of the way. To grow old with him as his mother and not something else. That should do it. You're doing well, I'm glad.
He's got cool hair. She's still very obviously
Thank you, Alice.
You're welcome, Milos. Now, you'll feel breathless for a little while still, but don't fret. It'll get easier to speak with time. That said, we can't rule out the possibility of a relapse. As a precaution, I would keep him away from lightning-infused objects.
Lightning. Does that include regulators?
Yes.
It does. I understand if it's difficult for you to part with something that you've worn for so long, though, so it's entirely up to you.
No. For Milos' sake, I will do it. And if the environment here isn't good for him, I must consider moving outside the dome.
Yes, and you need to take his off as well.
You two would be more than welcome in Tulihyolal.
It's very assuring to hear that. If you don't mind, could you tell me about the process?
You take the train and...
I'm happy. I can talk again.
Oh.
Before, I couldn't even thank my mother for caring for me. But now we can talk lots. I can tell her that I'm happy. That I like it when she strokes my hair.
Your mother is happy to talk to you as well, I'm sure.
Queen Sphene always cheered me up. Always said that she would cure me. Today, I'll practice walking with Mother. And next time, I'll go and visit you.
Thank you for explaining everything.
We'll come again to check on you. So if you have any other questions, just let me know.
Everybody's just not mentioning the new figure that's...
Right. Let's get going, shall we?
Please come back soon. You too, miss.
Mm-hmm. Surely they must have their suspicions.
It's good to see Milos doing so well.
The Endless Me gave him the strength to hang on, and she didn't rely on any special power to do so.
Yeah, she was just nice.
She wanted her people to be happy. Even though we had to fight, her love for them was very real. And it reached Milos.
Yep.
I wish to be there to watch him grow as well. To make my way beside the people of Alexandria.
Mm.
In the name of his evolution, Calyx has wrought much unease and misery, and I cannot condone his path.
Don't put it on, don't put it on.
No, I shall forge ahead on a path of my own, one that honors the memory of my other self.
Alex must have foreseen this, though. You would think. Shared paths complete. Ba-ba-ba-bom. I'm sure a decision is about to be made. As I treated Milos with Angela, I couldn't help but think of Gabu and Hulk. Wonder how they've been. Yes, indeed. Right, quest number 8, Seekers of Eternity, which is of course the patch title. Sphene is in higher spirits. Milos is a kind and brave boy. Did me well to see him. One day I hope that I can speak with him about my other self. Come, let us return to the back room. And on the way, let us pick up treats for our friends. A little gift to show our appreciation for their hard work. Okay.
As long as I don't have to pay for them with tomestones. And now something is going to go horribly wrong. Uh-oh.
Citizens of Alexandria, please be advised. The distribution of neo-regulators has concluded.
Uh-huh.
We ask that all recipients equip their regulators and promptly complete device registration.
Uh-huh.
The evolution of our kind is at hand. Together we shall rise above death and bask in the infinite possibilities of eternal life.
Bing, bing, bing. I love the fact that it's a public service announcement.
Evolution? What evolution?
Those with neo-regulators will become endless, apparently.
You mean there's no more? Well, don't you feel lucky?
Don't look at me like that. Queen's Fiend said there were only so many.
I haven't registered mine yet. The more I thought about it, the more unsure I felt about becoming an Endless.
Conflict and drama.
Well, I registered right away. Anything to stop those terrible nightmares of being killed by mechanical soldiers.
Who?
Ultimately, what you think is immaterial. For the seeds we've sown have already quickened.
Yaha.
The people have glimpsed hope in transcending death, and they can ill turn away from it.
Not offering much in the way of insightful commentary here, am I? But this is just the confirmation of our fears. And the conflict taking us.
The terror of their first encounter with death still lingers in their hearts. Having previously been spared even the idea of it, they know not how to handle the emotions.
The funeral was meant to give everyone the chance to come to terms with loss, to grieve and move forward together.
But a lot of them don't remember it.
But everyone who was wearing a regulator had their memories of that moment erased. And to see those oblivious, happy souls, those who remembered must have wondered if it might not be better to be like them, to go back to a time when death didn't exist.
And now they've been presented with the chance to do just that by becoming an Endless. It's not hard to see why they would consider it.
If this fear of death continues to spread among the people, what will become of Alexandria?
Yeah. What can we do about it? How can we even help?
The gifts for our friends will have to wait. We should return to the back room at once.
I suspect there will be quite a number of the more vocal fan base who aren't a fan of Wooklamat that will be quite happy to see Sveen taking a little bit of a commandy tone.
Oh, you're
there.
safe. That broadcast had us worried. The entire populace is on edge.
I'm not surprised.
So Alphino and the others are still out there.
Essentially, they've been given a deadline, haven't they? There's a countdown. You know, a race against time that we're now working against.
We have a situation on our hands.
Hi, Nostalgia.
A civilian has been killed by a mechanical soldier here on Trueview.
Why?
Wayakwe is on the scene and reports that the problem unit has been subdued by another sentry.
Huh.
That doesn't make sense. Only someone with the King of Resolve's authority could order a soldier to do that.
Or Shale? Question mark? No, maybe Calix has got access.
Not good. I tried to check the status of the authority, but was blocked from the core system.
Calyx has got
Given
into it in
recent
over, isn't
developments,
it?
I'd wager that Calyx is responsible for this.
Perhaps we should go and see for ourselves.
Oh, hello? Temujin here?
There's been an incident in the outskirts.
Ruh-roh.
A
Escalation.
mechanical soldier attacked a local resident. For no apparent reason.
I wish I could roll my... Every time Erenville speaks, I think I say this, don't I? I wish I could roll my R's.
Fortunately, several nearby hunters dealt with the rogue machine, so everyone is safe. But if other soldiers were to... Wait. Is that... Oh gods.
Erenville, no!
More hostile sentries are bound for the settlement. I'll try to lure them away and then lose them somehow.
But, the others can't hear this, can they? We don't have speakerphone, or do we?
Ill tidings, I take it.
No, they couldn't hear it. They just sat and stood there waiting and listened. Split up.
In the outskirts too?
You'll go and help Erenville, won't you? We couldn't forgive ourselves if he came to harm. I'll have Geo join you from Earth and Sky.
Sure.
I'm coming too. I can't stay here while my people are in danger.
Aw, he's growing into his role.
Let's go.
Let's go. Are we going to have a little combat-y section? A solo duty, perchance? Speak with Wuklamat in the outskirts, which handily there is a etherite right next to. Aludra! The people here took care of me, giving me food and making sure I was alright. Can't bear to imagine the soldiers hurting them. I don't see Erenville. I pray he hasn't come to harm. So this is how it is outside. These clouds. Never mind. Finding Erenville is what matters right now. Oh yeah, because she hasn't actually been out yet, has she? Because Foundation was underneath Everkeep. It wasn't outside Everkeep. Things have settled down here, but I still see no sign of Erenville. Let's split up and look for him. Hello, Josephine. Please search in the settlement area. Meanwhile, the rest of us who can defend ourselves will head further out. Okay, now I haven't tried this because this is actually, it's not just the first time Spheen's been outside, it's also the first time I've been outside since patch 7.2. So, hey, I can mount and run at the same time. Bloop, 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 bloop. I don't know whether I will remember to do that, but, you know. In fact, it means that I could change my macro, because currently I've got my macro set up so that if I press E, it mounts, and if I press Shift and E, it sprints. Magic pot. But I don't need to do that anymore, because... Oh, I wonder how it would take priority. Bum, bum, bum. Glitched sentry. Glitched, you say? Graduates. Oop. You okay, Erenville? Yeah, I had it set up to Shift and E and E because it needed separating, because otherwise it would try and cast the wrong one. That was a close call. My thanks. As I was leading the soldiers away, I caught sight of this poor fellow being pursued. I went to help, but was rather out of my depth. We're lucky you found us when you did. Emerville, I'm so glad you're safe. We were quite worried when we couldn't find you. We encountered soldiers on the way here. Most paid us no mind, but some turned out to be hostile. There's no way to tell until they've set on you. But the ones here also attacked without any warning. If I hadn't been paying attention, it could have ended badly. Hopefully the others were able to escape. We should return to the outskirts and take stock. Nod, 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 nod! That is going to take some getting used to. It's such a simple little thing. But after... How many years have I been playing this? 12? 13 years? Something? 14. 14 years, isn't it? Well, whenever. Since FF14 1.0. Well, since FF14 0. Whatever it was. I don't know whether the alpha even had a designated number. I did not expect to see you again so soon. Allow me to thank you again for your earlier help. We responded to Shah's call as quickly as we could. Others are out keeping an eye on the soldiers nearby. Thank you, Temujin, for protecting everyone. But you shouldn't have had to. None of this would have happened if I could control the soldiers. No one thought that Gul'Jar might have been behind the attacks. They know that he'd never make the soldiers do them harm. Even so, he feels responsible for the machine's actions. It is a misplaced burden, and I pray it drives him not to despair. The situation here appears to have been resolved, but I doubt we've seen the last of such incidents. I didn't expect to see Malachite out here. Given his own trauma, I wonder if he'll be alright.
Right. We're none the worse for the wear. But let's see what the situation is here.
Geode and his people came and joined us while we were searching for you. After which we happened to encounter Malachite. His usher duties brought him here, and he has quite the story to tell.
Oh.
It's a bit puzzling, to say the least. Even so, I'll try my best to explain. I was called to attend to the unfortunate soul slain by the mechanical soldier.
Uh-huh.
Yet, when I arrived, I found no body. Only a pile of dust, which the wind quickly scattered.
Oh. Oh. Drained of his ether? No.
Confused, I questioned the residents, but none knew what had become of it.
Ah. A trick? A ploy?
Did they remember the victim at least?
They did. Their memories of the deceased weren't sent to the cloud, I don't believe. Yet, no body remained.
Okay. Well, that's just weird.
If someone took it, surely they would have been noticed.
With your permission, I shall return to the government sector for now. Please take care.
We didn't give you permission, but yeah, it's fine. You go.
This is terrible. Why would they make the soldiers do this?
If preservation is behind the attacks, I fear this won't be the end of it.
All the Neo-regulators have been distributed, and potentially 5,000 Endless are about to be born.
Did he need
What
extra
does Alex
ether?
hope to achieve with these killings? Does he seek to frighten people into registering them? Or perhaps...
Everybody thinks.
Oh, thank the 12 you answered. Shale told me what happened. Is everything all right? I see. 'Tis a relief to hear that Erenville is safe.
Oh, gold.
Alas, I do not have good news to share in return.
Everything's going to hell.
A driver lost control of his vehicle when its interface became unresponsive, and it crashed into the Nexus arcade, injuring several people. Kryl and I are helping to render aid, but with the sentries behaving strangely, we can't afford to lower our guard. Remain vigilant, my friend.
Rise of the machines. Dum, 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 dum. Is Alizé talking to Alphino? She's having her own conversations, isn't she?
I just received word from the backroom. A hover cargo on TrueView threw off its driver, and it's rampaging through the area as we speak.
Alphino had a similarly troubling report for me. Apparently, a riderless machine in the government sector came to life near a crowd clamoring for neo-regulators. It proceeded to mow down several citizens, causing serious injuries.
This is a tragedy. We must go and help the people.
And off she pops. Which is absolutely fair enough.
Wait, I'm coming with you.
Alphino is with Y'shtola, and he said they'll be all right. I'll go and see if other incidents have occurred elsewhere. From here, I'll head towards the quarry by way of the Drift Downs.
Certainly a lot of hover cargoes coming and going in those parts. I'll join you.
I shall remain here and speak further with the locals. I have company now, so you needn't worry about me.
Then let's return to Solution 9. If we hurry, we can catch up to Lamachi and Sphene.
Sphene! Yes. Yes, indeed. Where are they? I would have thought they'd have had them running off in the distance. Yeah, so what is the purpose of these random attacks, one wonders? Sowing discord and panic? Because there were only 5,000 neo-regulators. So will it just ensure that those 5,000 exactly turn them on? Uklamat, not known for her healing powers. Whoop.
Sphene's gone ahead. I leave her with you.
What are you going to do? Do you have healing potions? Fires everywhere. Oh, a wipe? Oh dear. The Arcadian folks are out in strength. The soldiers have just gone nuts by the look of it. Oh, that's our chap, the physio emotional support dude.
Bloody things have gone mad.
Yes, Lathander. I'd forgotten his name entirely.
Why is this happening?
Good question. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Dola? Spellcasting. Yeah, indeed. Whee!
Surely there's a finite number of these things.
Everyone, please try to remain calm and make your way to resolution.
But run faster!
This is just like before, when Taralja unleashed the soldiers on us.
Yep.
No, I don't have any souls left. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
Cutscene. Uh-huh. Who are these dudes in the funky uniforms? Break! No. Bubble!
No, you don't!
Woohoo!
Are you all...
No! No! Why did you do that? Why? You can't just leave me alone like this! If we had been endless then, you'd still be here. You'd still be with me. But now...
Oh dear. Yeah, so they're just trying to pressure.
Are you alright?
Oh, got control on this bit. This is going to mess with Sven's head, I suspect. Need to get your healing powers back.
So many hurt. So many dead.
And this is, of course, what's...
This is wrong. This is all wrong.
This is, of course, what's triggered the Endless Sven. The fact that she couldn't save people. What a senseless waste of human life. But how measured, how calculated. Also, what's Estinian doing? Thank the 12, you're all unharmed. 'Tis small solace amidst this tragedy, however. The machine rampage seems to have been only temporary. Soldiers and vehicles alike ceased to operate all at once, as if they'd fulfilled their purpose. It's the same outside Everkeep, though members of Oblivion are keeping watch for good measure. The first attacks came shortly after the announcement that Neo regulators had run out. Can't have been a coincidence. I struggle to imagine that anyone but Kalitz could gain control of the soldiers. This must have served his ends in some way. Pilulja, are you still without your authority? It's fine now, I'm in control again. We might take the opportunity to shut down the machines. There's no guarantee this won't happen again. Amity just talked with Everkeep's administrators about that. They said it wasn't so simple. The mechanical soldiers don't only serve as guards, they also perform various vital tasks like providing medical treatment and managing food production. If we shut them down, we'd struggle to render aid to the citizens, let alone restore their lives to normal. I made it so they can't use weapons anymore, though.
Hopefully that makes it a little safer. Well done, you. That seems the best approach for now. Thank you for your swift action, Galudra. Ah, poor Sphene. This powerlessness. I can abide it no longer. No matter how much hardship and loss we could endure if there was but happiness at the end. Yet all I see now is suffering and misery. I cannot bear it. I want to protect the people. For their happiness, I would do anything and everything. So please, please lend me your aid. I'm sure this is exactly the road that she... Ah, Sphene, you found the words I wished you'd said back then. The endless Sphene, yeah. Our strength is yours, Sphene. Yes, because of course Sphene didn't ask for their help. She was too far gone and she just thought she had to take it. Together we'll get through this. Let us split up and get to work. Might I trouble you to report to Shale, my friend? Sure, yes, I will be your dog's bodyguard. Oh, straight back here. Couriers and cleaners are clearing away the wrecks of vehicles and soldiers. It's the first step to getting things back to normal. Malachite and his fellows attended to the deceased. His trauma must make the work difficult, but he's determined to do what he can. It pains me that the people were made to suffer even more after so much hardship and tragedy. But you and yours saved many lives. I cannot thank you enough. Yeah, so I suppose the narrative parallels here are exploring the different paths. Yeah, we know the path that one Sphene took. For lack of advice, for lack of friends, for lack of whatever, for just not having the strength physically because of her illness. Or her, not her illness, her condition, her condition as an endless, I suppose. But now we're going to see, you know, what could have been, you know, if things had been different. It's been a trying day, but it seems the worst is behind us. What's the situation out there now? Not great, but better than it could have been. You've moved quickly to restore things to normal. Thank you. Yet while disarming the soldiers is indeed prudent, it is far from comprehensive measure when vehicles can be commandeered to inflict damage and sow chaos. For the time being, I'll set our people to keep a close watch on machines. They also have a mind to consult the authorities about enlisting hunters to our aid. I must regain my proficiency in magic. To that end, I shall seek advice from Mistola and Alizé. Among the books recovered from the castle was a grimoire I once used. I hope to learn to wield it again at everyone's side. Yes! That'd be cool! Get her as part of our duty support trust thing. As for the key, I think it best that it remains in your care, though it means you will bear the greatest risk. That's nothing new. In order to ease your burden, I shall endeavour to become a capable warrior and make Otis and Selenia proud. So that's setting us up for 7.3, I guess. She has to regain herself. Meanwhile, in endless memory, living memory,
by illness weakened, by wounds unmade, by age decayed. Such fragile flesh is worthless to us.
Are the Ascians going to be brought into play here? And what is with your patch?
How mankind should evolve, shall evolve. I have already arrived at the answer.
He's got a little bit of an...
He's come to pose a new question.
He's got a little bit of an Emmett Selk look about him. Actually, the tired eyes and the... Reprieve from death, but at what cost? For endless life, a legion lost. Yeah, that was definitely a kind of middle patch ending, wasn't it, story-wise? So we had 7.0 with that arc. We had 7.1 setting up the conflict, which obviously they'd had planned all along. There were a lot of people who were very disgruntled, shall we say, with 7.0 and the lack of it, or the seeming lack of an obvious antagonist at the end. And I think I mentioned myself that it was odd that they hadn't set one up, though of course now that we know, they kind of had. They just hadn't, slapped us round the face with it in as explicit a manner. And then we had 7.1, which set out a course for simulants and the sowing of discord. And now we've had 7.2, which is very much the kind of middle of the three, I suppose, patches, where the stakes have been raised and the main antagonist and his purpose has been revealed. And it's not necessarily a massively new one. It's not an unusual one. Oh yeah, somebody seeking immortality, etc, etc, etc. And the fact that it's a scientist goes, adds to that sense of, have we seen this before? Yeah, we kind of had. But I'm sure there will be some people that don't like that. Oh, we've seen this story before. But if you really think about it and take it from somebody who actually studied this at university, there are only so many stories. And everything that you watch, that you read, that you play, story-wise, is in some ways a twist on those classic story frameworks, if you like. So, child prodigy turns evil genius, not an uncommon story trope. How it plays out so far is going the way the trope often plays out. Will they subvert it? Will they keep it as is? Who knows? Well, I mean, obviously the team does, but we don't yet. Does that make it bad because we've seen it before? Some people will undoubtedly say, yes, I want something new. I want something fresh. I want something I've never seen before. And that is incredibly difficult to do. I really liked Shadowbringers and Endwalker. And I talk about them as a pair because they were realistically all one story. I know that a lot of people didn't like Endwalker as much as they liked Shadowbringers, but realistically, I see them as two parts of the same narrative. I really liked what they did with that story, but could I put my hand on my heart and say, I've never seen that done before? No, of course I haven't. I'm an English literature major. I've read enough books to know that there are always going to be stories where the villain turns out to be misguided or misjudged, or something happened to them to turn them into the monster they are, and so on and so forth. The only difference was in the details
And, of course, the fact that it was a story that we've invested in an MMO for over a decade. That's what helped that character and that narrative be so powerful, because of the amount of investment we had in it. Those of us who've been there from the start, or those who started the story in Shadowbringers and just, blitzed their way through it. Arguably, for some of them, it may have been even more potent because they'd had it in such a condensed time. But was it a new story? Was it fresh? Was it original? No. Was it excellent? Yes. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to slag off the story. FF14's Zodiac arc, I think, remains in my top 3, and may even take the top spot, but certainly my top 3 for Final Fantasy narratives. But not because it was something I'd never seen before, just because it was well-paced, well-delivered, well-paced as far as you can make it in an MMO, arguably. So anyway, back to my point about child genius scientist, illness, gives up his body, lives on as AI. This isn't new. This is stuff that I've seen or read before. But it's got, as all stories do, they have iterations and variations on the framework of this story trope. So regardless of what you feel about, Wuklamat, what you feel about Sphene, what you feel about Calyx, what you feel about the plot, this is a combination of characters that is attempting to do something with a trope that many of us will have seen before. And personally, I think it's doing a decent job. Is it having the revelations and surprises that Emmett Selks reveals to us in Shadowbringers had? No. No, it's not. But it's still doing, in my opinion, a really good job. And I've been mentioning this a few times, just because I know that for some people this will be a good thing. But the moving of emphasis from Wuklamat to Sphene, I think, will very much please some people. And to be honest, I think it makes sense for the story. It's possible that the backlash that they faced from some quarters of the internet will have caused the writing team to drop or to lower Wuklamat's presence in the story in favour of giving Sphene more to do. That's possible. I don't know. It could be that they haven't changed their plans in the slightest, and this was always what they were going to do all along. And I imagine if the writing team were to come out and say that, there would of course be that vocal part of the internet that say, no, we don't believe you, because they hated this character so much. But I think what they're doing is fun, it's entertaining, but it did suffer from the 0.2 patch syndrome, where the story, it's the middle child, it's the bridge, it's the we've got a serious situation and now we need to wait for 3 months plus until we can find out a little bit more and reach some kind of conclusion, which is always unfortunate, but that's just the nature of how they do their patches and their storytelling. So yeah, a little bit arguably anticlimactic, that final quest, but that's just the nature. I'd argue that actually in some ways, if there was a big massive issue going on, that actually the wait until 7.3 would be even worse.
It is 7, isn't it? I keep second guessing myself. Is it 7 or 8 that we're on? It is 7, I think. I don't know. My brain is just a mess. I think I need a regulator for my own brain. Not that that's what they do. Do you guys have anything to say? Gosling is helping us coordinate efforts with the admin. Take his mind off stuff. Trolls outside. Oh, sorry, Geode. Complications. Oh! Little John feels he needs to find a way to become more useful. Yeah. So that lull in the proceedings, where essentially we need to gear up and tool up. You know, whether Sphene will have got her powers back for the next patch, or whether it is something that she will... I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to make a prediction at 38 minutes past 4 on the 1st of April 2025. Narratively speaking, I expect Sphene to get some small portion of her healing power back by 7.3. But it will be an event in the story of 7.3 itself that helps her restore her full potential. That's my prediction, as involves that. As for a prediction of what they're going to do with the story, obviously we are going to win because, you know, it's a Final Fantasy game. Well, unless you're looking at Final Fantasy VI, obviously. Although we did kind of win, quote unquote, in the end. In terms of what we are going to do, narratively speaking, to actually defeat Calyx, actually, the issue is that there's not a lot we can do. We don't know where he is. We don't know the extent of his powers. We need to find all of that out. But, narratively speaking, right now, we are also having to watch over the people because Calyx could, at seemingly any moment, take over authority and start wreaking havoc. And if he can do that at basically any time we try and get... Well, no. If he can do that at any time where we get close to him, then obviously he can continue wearing us down and keeping us distracted and preventing us from finding him. Obviously, we as the player know where he is. He's sat up on the top of the Queen's statue's head in living memory. One assumes that we can't go to... I just thought for a second, oh, could we go there and see him? But no, that unless he's there and he teleports away if we get close. That would be a nice little detail, wouldn't it? But so something tells me that that is not what they will have done. Where actually even is living memory? Oh, it's over here. I'm going to go and take a look anyway. But yeah, I think those are my thoughts overall. I always tend to come away from the middle patch with a little bit of a sense of, is that it? Is that where you're leaving us? You're leaving us hanging for the next bits? Oh, we can't even fly up that high, can we? But yeah, that's where he's sitting. He's sat up there. I would find it very interesting if they'd just modelled him in and he disappeared whenever we got close. Obviously, that would, in some ways, that would mess with the story. Because, you know, why would we not tell people, oh, we saw him when we were flying around the Meso terminal, etc., etc. But, what are these things? I don't remember seeing those at all.
How very odd. Until next time, folks, that has been my coverage / look at the Final Fantasy XIV patch 7.2 main scenario quests. I think we're up to, what is it, 967 or something like that now? I forget, but yeah, we're getting towards quest number 1000 for this game. Can I just check? Yeah, that was 968, I believe. So, yeah, 32 away from the big 1000. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any thoughts on my speculation, or you've got speculation for yourself, let me know down below in the comments. If you found my musings on writing and scripting and narrative interesting or annoying, again, let me know. I don't claim to be an expert in these things. You know, having a university qualification in these things doesn't mean that you're an expert, and so on and so forth. Until next time, stay safe, stay fabulous. From me and the Corpicor, bloop bloop bloop. See you later. Bye. What a stupid way to sign off. You wouldn't think I'm a mature adult, would you? Anyway, bye. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.